How are you guys doing? Today is Wednesday, October 27th, 2021. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to review the Elite matchups and performances from yesterday, Tuesday, October 26th, and of course, I'm going to preview everything that's going on today as we navigate through the world of sports one day at a time. To take a quick snapshot of where we are at this point in the 2021 calendar year, the MLB season is drawing to a close as only 2 of the 30 original MLB teams are left competing for the 2021 title. The football seasons here and abroad are just underway, as in college football and the NFL. They will get started back on Thursday, which is tomorrow. And of course, soccer is right in the midst of domestic cups. And also the NBA as well as the NHL just got started. College basketball is just around the corner. So right in the midst of all this, I'm going to get started with Game 1 of the 2021 World Series. This game took place in Houston because the Houston Astros had a better record. I'm not even sure if it was because of that or if it was because of the All-Star game. But regardless, the Astros had home field advantage. And the Atlanta Braves would end up beating the Houston Astros 6-2 to take a 1-0 series lead. In the very first inning, the very first batter for the Atlanta Braves, Jorge Soler, hit a leadoff home run to start the World Series. Austin Riley's RBI double would make the game 2-0 in favor of Atlanta. In the top of the second, Jorge Soler reaching on a fielder's choice and making it all the way to first would lead to Travis d'Arnaud scoring to make it 3-0 Atlanta. In the top of the third, Adam Duvall would hit a 2-run home run, so the Braves would be the first World Series team in history to score in the first 3 innings of the World Series. The score was 5-1. In the bottom of the fourth, Chas McCormick reached on a fielder's choice, making it 5-1. At the top of the eighth, Freddie Freeman's sacrifice fly would lead to Dansby Swanson just making it past the glove of Martin Maldonado to make it 6-1 Braves. And then in the bottom of the eighth, Carlos Correa's ground out would bring Yordan Alvarez to the plate, and that was the last score of the game. Looking into the box scores for each team, starting off with the Astros, the loss went to their starting pitcher, Framber Valdez. He allowed 5 earned runs in 2 full innings pitched as he struck out 2. In the Astros batting lineup, their left fielder, Michael Brantley, would go 3 for 5. Their right fielder, Kyle Tucker, would go 2 for 4 with a run. And their first baseman, the American League batting champ, Yuli Gurriel, would finish going 2 for 4 on the day as the Braves allowed 8 hits. And then for the Atlanta Braves, the start was given to Charlie Morton. He pitched 2.1 innings before a hit ball would end up breaking his leg. He allowed only 1 hit in that span as he struck out 3 batters. The win was given to the Braves' first relief pitcher, A.J. Minter. He allowed 1 earned run in 2.2 innings. He would go on to strike out 3 for the day. Of course, the close was given to Will Smith. In the Braves batting lineup, their designated hitter, Jorge Soler, would go 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a run. Like I said, he would hit the first home run of the series. Their elite second baseman, Ozzie Albies, would go 2 for 5 with a run. Their elite first baseman, the reigning National League MVP, Freddie Freeman, would go 1 for 3 with an RBI. Their left fielder, the NLCS MVP, Eddie Rosario, would go 2 for 5 with a run. And their center fielder, Adam Duvall, would go 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run, as he also has a home run in this World Series to his name as well. With this win, the Braves lead the series 1-0. Game 2 of this series will be played today in Houston at 8:09 on Fox. Max Fried will make the start for the Atlanta Braves, and for the Houston Astros, it'll be Jose Urquidy. As a win for the Atlanta Braves would put the Braves 2 games away from the title as they play 3 straight games at home if necessary. With a win here, the Astros would force Game 5 as they played the next 3 games in Atlanta. Taking a look at what's going on in basketball, because of course there's no football going on within the States. Starting off with the 2 primetime games, the first one taking place in Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks hosted the Philadelphia 76ers. The Knicks were able to beat the Sixers 112-99. The big difference would be the second quarter, where the Knicks outscored the Sixers 39-16 by 23 points. The 76ers outscored the Knicks in every other quarter, and the Knicks were still able to win by 13 points. Looking first at the Philadelphia 76ers on the losing end, their starting power forward, Tobias Harris, would lead the team in scoring. He finished with 23 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists in 33 minutes, as he shot 10 for 18 from the field, and he made his only free throw of the night. Their elite starting center, Joel Embiid, would finish with 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists, alongside 5 turnovers in 30 minutes. He shot 2 for 7 from the field, and he shot 10 for 11 from the foul line. Looking at the New York Knicks, on the other hand, they were led in scoring by their elite starting point guard out of UConn, Kemba Walker. He finished with 19 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals in 28 minutes, as he shot 7 for 15 from the field, and he shot 5 for 11 from 3. With this win, the New York Knicks are now 3-1 to start their season. With this loss, the Philadelphia 76ers are now 2-2. The next time these two teams will face off will be next month on November 8th. Taking a look at the other primetime matchup from yesterday, the reigning regular season champs Utah Jazz hosted the Denver Nuggets. The Jazz would end up beating the Denver Nuggets 122-110. The Jazz outscored the Nuggets by 11 points in the fourth quarter. That would be the quarter that created the most separation between these two teams. Looking first at the Nuggets, they were led in scoring by their elite starting center, the reigning NBA MVP, Nikola Jokic. He finished with 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists in 15 minutes. He shot 8 for 9 from the field, a perfect 3 for 3 from the line, and he shot 5 for 7 from the field before he ended up hurting his knee and he had to get carted out. Their starting small forward, Will Barton, finished with 21 points in 37 minutes as he shot 9 for 16 from the field. Their starting power forward, Aaron Gordon, would finish with 20 points and 7 rebounds in 34 minutes as he shot 9 for 13 from the field. Looking next at the Utah Jazz, they were led in scoring by their elite starting center, Rudy Gobert. He finished with 23 points, 16 rebounds, and of course a block in 33 minutes. He shot 7 for 8 from the field, and he shot 9 for 16 from the foul line. The Jazz elite starting shooting guard, Donovan Mitchell, out of Louisville, finished with 22 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 turnovers in 34 minutes. Mitchell shot 9 for 20 from the field, 1 for 9 from 3, and a perfect 3 for 3 from the foul line. With this win, the Utah Jazz are 3-0 to start their season. With this loss, the Denver Nuggets are 2-2. Looking at the games that weren't on prime time, starting now and are jumping now to Oklahoma City. The Oklahoma City hosted the Golden State Warriors as the Thunder looked to seek their first win and looked to give the Warriors their first loss, but alas, things went the other way. The Warriors beat the Thunder 106-98. The biggest quarter for the Warriors was the third quarter, where they outscored the Thunder 33-17 by 16 points. Looking first at the Oklahoma City Thunder, they were led in scoring by their starting shooting guard out of Kentucky, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He finished with 30 points in 36 minutes as he shot 11 for 19 from the field, 4 for 5 from 3, and he shot 4 for 5 from the foul line. On the Golden State Warriors, their leading scorer was their goated starting point guard, Stephen Curry. He finished with 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists in 32 minutes. He shot 6 for 14 from the field, 4 for 9 from 3, and a perfect 7 for 7 from the foul line. Their starting small forward, the former number 1 overall pick, Andrew Wiggins, finished with 21 points and 3 steals in 31 minutes. He shot 9 for 17 from the field and 3 for 5 from the foul line. Off the bench for the Golden State Warriors, their shooting guard out of Drexel, Damian Lee, would finish with 20 points of his own in 26 minutes. He shot 8 for 14 from the field, and he shot 4 for 7 from 3. 4 for 7 from inside the three-point line and 4 for 7 from outside. With this win, the Golden State Warriors are 4-0. With this loss, the Oklahoma City Thunder are now 0-4. Taking a look at what's going on in Dallas in the intra-Texas matchup, the Dallas Mavericks hosted the Houston Rockets. The Mavericks would end up beating the Rockets 116-106. The Mavericks outscored the Rockets by 13 points in the second half after they were trailing by 3 at halftime. Looking first at the Rockets, they were led in scoring by their shooting guard off the bench, Eric Gordon. He finished with 22 points in 27 minutes as he shot 7 for 11 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3, and he also shot 5 for 6 from the foul line. He also finished with a couple of steals for himself as well. Looking at the Dallas Mavericks, they were led in scoring by their elite starting point guard out of Slovenia, Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic would finish with 25 points. He would also go on, or 26 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals. He did all this in 34 minutes as he shot 10 for 25 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3, and a perfect 5 for 5 from the foul line. With this win, the Dallas Mavericks are 2-1. With this loss, the Houston Rockets are 0-3. Last but not least, taking a look at the last matchup that wasn't on prime time, jumping to San Antonio. The San Antonio Spurs hosted the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers would end up beating the Spurs 125-121 in overtime as LeBron James actually missed this game with injury. But regardless, the Lakers were able to jump themselves right back up to 500. Taking a look at the San Antonio Spurs, they were led in scoring by their starting center out of Utah, Jakob Poeltl. He finished with 27 points and 14 rebounds alongside 3 blocks. He did all this in the span of 38 minutes. He shot 13 for 17 from the field on the day. Their starting point guard, DeJounte Murray, finished with 21 points, 12 rebounds, 15 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks in 40 minutes. He shot 9 for 24 from the field and 2 for 4 from 3. Off the bench, their shooting guard out of Miami, Lonnie Walker IV, would finish with 21 points and 6 assists in 31 minutes. He shot 7 for 10 from the field, 5 for 7 from 3, and a perfect 2 for 2 from the foul line. Looking now at the Los Angeles Lakers, they were led in scoring by their elite starting power forward out of Kentucky, Anthony Davis. He finished with 35 points, 17 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 blocks in 42 minutes. He shot 15 for 31 from the field and 5 for 6 from the foul line. And their elite starting point guard, Russell Westbrook, finished with 33 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 steals in 40 minutes. He shot 15 for 27 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, and he also shot 2 for 4 from the foul line. With this win, the 2020 NBA champs are now 2-2, and with this loss, the San Antonio Spurs are 1-3. Taking a look at what the NBA's got in store today, starting, of course, with the first primetime game at 7:30. The 1-3 New Orleans Pelicans are going to host the 2-1 Atlanta Hawks. Hawks led by Trae Young, Pelicans led by Brandon Ingram, now that Zion Williamson's out of the lineup for the time being. The second matchup that's going to take place on primetime will be at 10 o'clock as the Portland Trailblazers host the Memphis Grizzlies on ESPN. The Trailblazers are 1-2. The Grizzlies are now 2-1. Looking at the games that won't be on primetime at 7 o'clock, the 1-3 Orlando Magic are going to host the 3-1 Charlotte Hornets. At 7:30, the 2-2 Boston Celtics are going to host the 2-1 Washington Wizards. At the same time, the 2-2 Brooklyn Nets are going to host the 2-1 Miami Heat. At the same time, at 7:30, the 1-3 Toronto Raptors are going to host the 1-3 Indiana Pacers. At 8 o'clock, the 3-1 defending NBA champs and Milwaukee Bucks are going to host the 2-1 Minnesota Timberwolves. At 8 o'clock, the 0-4 Oklahoma City Thunder are going to host the 2-2 Los Angeles Lakers as the Thunder look to get their first win of the season tonight. At 10 o'clock, the Phoenix Suns, the reigning Western Conference champs, are going to host the 1-2 Sacramento Kings. And then last but not least, at 10:30, the 1-2 Los Angeles Clippers are going to host the 2-2 Cleveland Cavaliers. That is what the NBA looks like. And as we take a look at what's going on abroad and taking a look at what went down in yesterday's soccer, starting with domestic leagues, the only domestic league that really went on was Serie A, and the big matchup was between AC Milan and Torino. AC Milan was able to beat Torino 1-0 as their only goal came in the 14th minute off of a goal from Olivier Giroud. For the time being, AC Milan has the top spot in Serie A as they sit 3 points over Napoli with one more game played. Napoli would, of course, take the lead over Milan if they were to win their next game. But, of course, with this win, Milan puts the pressure on Napoli. Looking at the other matchups that took place in the fourth round of the English Carabao Cup, Arsenal was able to advance past Leeds United 2-0, both their goals coming in the second half. Chelsea was able to advance past Southampton, even though the game finished 1-1. Their only goal came from Kai Havertz, their elite German center attacking mid. Chelsea would advance 4-3 off penalties in order to make it through. And then in the German DFB Pokal, which is the German league, the German domestic cup, in the second round, Borussia Dortmund was able to advance past FC Ingolstadt 2-0, as both of their goals came in the second half from Torgan Hazard in the 72nd and 81st minutes. Taking a look at what's going on today in the world of soccer, first starting to take a look at the leagues that aren't currently having their domestic leagues. Starting in Serie A, Juventus is going to host Sassuolo. Taking a look at where they sit in the Serie A table, they are currently sitting sixth. A win could possibly put them even up there into third place alongside Inter Milan if Inter loses their matchup versus Empoli. Also, taking a look out at what's going on, Roma currently holding the fourth spot in Serie A is going to face off against Cagliari at 2:45. And then in Ligue 1, it looks as though Marseille is going to take its match. They're going to play against Nice. Looking at where Marseille is, they're currently sitting fourth in Ligue 1, and Nice is currently sitting third. So this is going to be a very important game that will determine seeding, especially as these teams are competing for possibly even a Champions League spot. Taking a look at what's going on in the domestic cups, jumping out in the Carabao Cup in the fourth round of that tournament. Tottenham Hotspur is going to face Burnley at 2:45. At the same time, Liverpool's going to face off against Preston North End, and West Ham is going to host Manchester City. Jumping out to Spanish La Liga, jumping into that league, Barcelona is going to face off against Rayo Vallecano, and Real Madrid is going to face off against Osasuna. I actually did miss them through the first time, but taking a look at where they sit, especially within the La Liga table as of right now, Real Madrid sits second in La Liga to Real Sociedad. A win against Osasuna, who is currently the sixth team in La Liga, would ensure that Real Madrid returns to the top of the table with the same amount of matches played. As of right now, Barcelona is sitting ninth in the table. A win versus Rayo Vallecano, which at the moment is the eighth best team in La Liga, would see them leapfrog Rayo and quite possibly into Europa League territory. But of course, they still have to win that game in order to do it. Taking a look at what's going on in the German DFB Pokal in the second round, Borussia Mönchengladbach, who is currently looking at the Bundesliga as of this very moment. Mönchengladbach is holding the 12th best record in all of Germany. They are going to host the reigning Bundesliga champions, Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich is currently holding the best record in the Bundesliga by a point over Dortmund. That's going to be the big matchup out in Germany. And that's virtually what's going on with sports as it relates to today, Wednesday, October 22nd, 2021. Once all of today's matchups and exhibitions are done, I will come back tomorrow on Thursday, October 28th for another episode of The Elite. So until then, I want to thank everyone once again for listening to this piece. I hope all is well, and I'll catch you I'll catch you back tomorrow with another episode of The Elite. Thanks for listening. I hope all is well, and I'll catch you with more tomorrow. Peace out. Thanks for listening to my piece.